Ilia Topuria. Some of the best hands in the sport, current UFC featherweight champion, and knocked out Volkanovski, who was maybe the greatest of all time. Watch him hit the punches. Look at this. See how he's moving his head when the guy throws punches? Just slipping just slightly.
It's like total economy of movement.
And the speed, man. The speed of that. Look at the hand. Look at the hand speed. I mean, these are like 5-6 punches a second.
Topuria is the best fighter on the planet right now. Just finishing these guys, Holloway, Volkanovski, and Oliveira. He's just on another level right now. He's in his prime. Gaethje's on his way down, and there's no beating father time. To send Gaethje out there to get slaughtered, they didn't put the best American fighters on the card. You put Gaethje, he's a good American fighter for sure, but he's getting sent to slaughter on our birthday for America. Yeah. I'm happy Sean O'Malley's on there. He's going to put on a good show for sure, but Michael Chandler is a punching bag.
Ilia and Justin Gaethje.
Okay.
Ilia and Justin Gaethje. I think that because no matter the outcome, it's going to be good regardless. It's the right fight to make. We got the undisputed champion in lightweight versus the interim lightweight champion. So that's the right fight to make. There's no complaints about that. And then no matter how this shakes out, now obviously everybody's looking at this fight, and I've seen the memes that are like, "Oh man, Justin Gaethje better bring a gun." Da 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 da. And yeah, it's very possible that he could get knocked out early. And if that happens, guess what? It's gonna be good. It'll be good. We'll all celebrate the knockout. We'll be like, "Oh my goodness!" But what I believe is going to happen, I don't think he gets knocked out as early and as easy as everybody else suggests. I think he makes this a little tougher. I think he puts up a good fight. And if that happens, it's going.
Just shows you how good Ilia Topuria is. God damn, that dude.
Dude, I love Justin. I'm a fan. I don't like this matchup for him.
That dude has the touch of death.
Yeah.
He has the touch of death.
And he's not a big guy. I've never seen him in person, but I was talking to somebody recently, and they said, no, he's 5'7",
He's small, man. He's not big. And, bro, he puts people into the shadow realm.
Yeah.
His confidence is crazy. He had a victory party for the Oliveira fight the night before.
Everything to all the terms on that deal to fight Gaethje. It was just wild how it came about, because for me personally, right, we were told that Ilia was not going to be on the card earlier that week, right? Then we get a call that said, hey, if we can make a fight, you can fight Islam or Gaethje. Right? And we actually said, let's take Islam. We would love to fight Islam, because remember, guys, it's not about picking an opponent because one is harder or easier or scared or not scared. Money's involved. And the bigger the fight, the more money it is. And so we wanted to make the most amount of money, right, that we possibly could. So we were focused on getting an Islam fight. So when you hear Dana say, well, that was never a fight, it was because it was talked about, but there was no agreement to fight anybody. So I want to clarify my last tweet, which was, there's a lot of facts here that people are just, Dana's been pretty much honest. Now, as far as, and then he kind of clarified his John Jones comments about, that he was never going to be on the card. I don't know if that's true, because there was a negotiation there also as well, right? It just kind of didn't go anywhere after a while.
Justin, he has to pray to God. Ilia's like, let's make it entertaining. Points to the ground, which he does. So then it's like, all right, because Justin does have knockout power, kind of. Then he has a, coin flip there. Because Ilia does get hit a little bit. If Ilia goes, no, I'm mixed martial arts today. I'm going to take your ass down, wear you out, and then knock you out. It's going to be a tough day in the office.
If you like fight breakdowns like this, hit subscribe now, because this matchup has turned the entire MMA world into one giant debate. People are still trying to wrap their heads around the fact that a White House fight card is actually happening, and now the biggest fight on that stage has been locked in. Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje are officially set to meet in the main event, and the second that news dropped, the conversation exploded everywhere. The reason the reaction was so intense is simple. This is not a matchup you can explain away with one lazy opinion. It is not a basic striker versus wrestler story, or a predictable veteran versus prospect setup. This is a collision between two very different forms of danger. On one side, you have Ilia Topuria, a fighter who looks calculated, efficient, armed, and brutally accurate whenever he gets his reads. On the other side, you have Justin Gaethje, a man who has made a career out of creating chaos, dragging opponents into violent exchanges, and turning high-level fights into highlight reel wars. Topuria's style demands respect because everything he does looks so controlled. He is not out there throwing throwing wild combinations just to make noise. He sees openings quickly, reacts without hesitation, and lands with the kind of clean precision that makes even elite fighters look exposed. His offense is compact, his balance stays sharp, and there is a calmness to the way he fights that makes his attacks feel even more dangerous. He does not look rushed. He looks certain. That is what makes Gaethje such an interesting opponent for him. Justin is the exact opposite kind of test. He is not there to give you a technical chess match for long. He brings intensity, damage, and a style that can unravel structure in seconds. One clean shot, one brutal exchange, one moment where the pace shifts in his favor, and suddenly the entire fight can flip. That has always been the fear factor with Gaethje. He may not need a long opening. Sometimes all he needs is a split second. What gives this main event so much weight is the contrast. Topuria looks like the man built on discipline, timing, and accuracy. Gaethje looks like the embodiment of pressure, violence, and disruption. One wants the fight clean enough to read and punish. The other has built his career on making fights ugly enough to break people mentally and physically. That is why this does not feel like a routine booking. It feels like two opposite forces being shoved into the same cage. As soon as the matchup became official, the opinions started dividing fast. A lot of people believe Topuria's cleaner boxing, tighter defense, and sharper timing are going to be the difference. They see him as the more polished fighter and think that level of precision will punish Gaethje before Justin can truly settle in. Others look at Gaethje and see a proven destroyer, a veteran of wars, and a man who has lived through the kind of chaos that breaks most fighters. To them, that kind of power and experience cannot be ignored. That is what makes this whole thing so compelling. This is not just a fight between two famous names. It is a real test of styles, mentality, and composure under extreme pressure. When a technician that sharp meets a brawler that dangerous, somebody's confidence in their prediction is going to get shattered the moment the cage door closes.
Well, if we're gonna go at that, I got Ilia Topuria knocking him out.
Yeah, same here.
I just feel after you've been dropped so much and you're gonna fight somebody who's a f***ing deadly striker, great wrestler, who has a chin, who's willing to put himself in the fire to land that shot, and not just a shot to the face. Let's not forget about Ilia Topuria's body work as well.
And I share with you, when you look at the UFC White House, and somebody said the card sucks, they brought you what they had. What else could you ever ask of somebody? They brought you what they had. Sean O'Malley and Pierre have been battling for a while now for who's the biggest star in the sport. They're both on the card. Pierre is in a brand new weight class with a title opportunity. This is massive. He's not even the main event. Then we're told, well, we have bona fide numbers between Pierre and O'Malley, be the big stars in the absence of McGregor. We're told that Ilia Topuria is on the heels of everybody. So now he's going to come in against your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. We're completely dismissing Gaethje, which I feel that you're forgetting is a two-time interim champion of the world. Tell me somebody else can make that claim. Who's a BMF champion of the world. Justin Gaethje has captured 3 belts and is going for his 4th. They brought you what they
To knock him out.
You know, I'm not gonna give up on my boy that quick. Okay, Ilia's, but I'm like, I'll just lay it out there. Ilia's striking is leagues above everybody, like just about everybody in the UFC, you know, and the wrestling and jiu-jitsu is there as well.
Mm-hmm.
His timing, his instincts, his instinct to fire off in like his counterattacks. You know, he'll make you pay for every step you take. It's a hard fight.
Yeah,
Things
man.
have got to change in Gaethje's camp to make the fight competitive.
Yeah.
Right now, the Gaethje that fought Paddy won't beat.
The noise around this White House card has only gotten louder, especially from fans claiming the lineup somehow does not live up to the stage. Chael Sonnen sees that criticism very differently. From his point of view, people complaining about this event are completely missing the reality of what the UFC has actually put together. Sonnen's argument is that the promotion went as big as it possibly could for a card tied to a setting this unusual and this historic. He looks at the names involved and sees star power everywhere. He does not see a weak event or some novelty show being held together by hype. He sees Sean O'Malley on the bill, Alex Pereira on the bill, and Ilia Topuria stepping into an even brighter spotlight with serious momentum behind him. That alone, in his eyes, gives the event major value. But Sonnen also believes one of the most important names on the card is not getting enough credit in the overall conversation, and that name is Justin Gaethje. That matters because Justin is not just there as an action fighter added for entertainment. He is a former interim champion twice over, a BMF title holder, and one of the most most battle-tested names in the sport. When people talk like this, card lacks legitimacy. Sonen's view is that they are acting like Gaetje's resume does not exist. That completely changes how the main event should be framed. This is not only Ilia Topuria arriving on a gigantic stage to continue his rise. This is also Justin Gaethje, showing up with years of elite-level experience, proven championship relevance, and a reputation that instantly raises the danger level of any fight. A man with that history cannot be reduced to a supporting role in somebody else's story, especially not in a main event this high profile. Sonen's bigger message seems obvious. Fans are getting distracted by the location, by the spectacle, and by how strange it feels to even say the words White House fight card. In the process, they are overlooking the actual quality of the names involved. He does not see this event as a gimmick built only on the setting. He sees it as a card loaded with meaningful names, established stars, and matchups that carry real weight. And once you look at it that way, the criticism starts sounding much less convincing. A lineup that includes Sean O'Malley, Alex Pereira, Ilia Topuria, and Justin Gaethje is not lacking firepower. Sonnen clearly believes fans calling it underwhelming are judging the event through the wrong lens. In his mind, this card has big personalities, serious name value, and enough proven talent to make it feel major before the opening bout even starts.
That fight going down.
Well, I do want Gaethje to win that fight. That's a really tough fight. I don't want to bet against Gaethje. I like him, man. I don't like the opponent, and I want to bet for who I like. So I'll bet with who I like, and then I would tell Gaethje he's going to have to target the body. He's going to have to do center line attacks, not just all hooks. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, these body shots are very valuable. I haven't seen Gaethje do a ton of body work, and I would say that would be the one thing. Don't go in there headhunting him. You know, he will slip and do a quick body shot, and it'll affect you. You're not going to have that presence when your body hurts.
Not everyone looks at this matchup and sees a 50-50 fight, and Robert Whittaker made that clear when he shared his view. His opinion was not built on hype or on the spectacle of the event. It was based on what he sees technically in Ilia Topuria's striking, and Whittaker's assessment made it clear that he believes Ilia is operating at a level most fighters simply cannot match. Whittaker focused on the traits that make Topuria so dangerous to stand with. He pointed to the timing, the awareness, and the way Ilia fires back the instant an opponent gives him the smallest mistake to work with. That kind of praise carries real weight because it is not empty admiration. It is about the details that separate a good striker from a truly elite one. Timing, recognition, and reaction speed are what make a fighter terrifying when the margins get small. The picture Whittaker painted is of a fighter who does much more than land clean shots. He punishes decisions. Every move an opponent makes comes with risk. Step in recklessly and you can get clipped. Reach without purpose and he makes you pay. Lose track of distance for a second and he is already firing back with something sharp and damaging. That kind of pressure is exhausting because it is not just physical, it forces hesitation. And Whittaker's opinion went even further than that. He said Topuria is striking on a level above nearly everyone else in the UFC, which is not the sort of statement a respected fighter throws around casually. When someone with Whittaker's experience says something that strong, it tells you he sees rare quality in the mechanics, the decision-making, and the execution. He is not talking only about power. He is talking about a degree of polish that changes the whole equation. Because of that, Whittaker believes Gaethje's camp has serious work to do. This is not a matchup where Justin can walk in with the same old habits and trust that his toughness will solve everything. The adjustments would have to be major. In Whittaker's eyes, the version of Gaethje that showed up against Paddy Pimblett would not be enough to beat Topuria as he looks right now. That says a lot about the level he thinks Ilia is currently fighting at. That does not mean Whittaker sees Justin as harmless. Far from it. Gaethje remains one of the most dangerous men in the sport, and everyone knows how fast he can turn a fight violent. But Whittaker's point is that Topuria's striking presents a much more difficult puzzle than some fans realize. If Justin arrives without the right discipline, the right preparation, and the right adjustments for that timing, things could go downhill very quickly. And that is what adds even more tension to the matchup. One side looks at Gaethje's power, experience, and proven violence, and says that is enough to threaten anybody alive. The other side, and Whittaker clearly leans this way, looks at Topuria and sees a striker on another level, someone more exact, more dangerous, and more punishing than most opponents are ready for. That divide is exactly why the debate around this fight refuses to calm down.
But if Justin Gaethje has that presence and is not hurting, he can march Ilia down, and I promise you, Ilia will not do as good on the back foot. If I was Gaethje's coach, I would say, go forward with your hands high, kick that calf, and if Gaethje comes out orthodox, you already know Ilia is going to slam a calf kick. So either time a straight right or a left hook off of that kick and just come out the fucking gate swinging and don't waste too much energy right off the bat.
There's a reason people cannot agree on this fight. Both men carry the kind of danger that can end everything instantly. Ilia Topuria brings refined technique, fast reactions, and counters that can punish the smallest mistake before an opponent even realizes he made it. Justin Gaethje brings battle-hardened experience, devastating power, and the kind of aggression that can throw a fight off the rails in seconds. That is why this main event feels so massive. It is not just about who throws harder or who lands first. It is about who controls the pace, who handles the pressure better, and who forces the other man into the kind of fight he never wanted to have. In a matchup with that much tension and that many dangerous possibilities, every exchange could change the entire night. Drop your prediction in the comments and tell us who you have winning, Ilia or Justin, and explain what gives your pick the edge. Subscribe right now for more fight breakdowns, expert takes, and the latest updates from the MMA world, because this fight is only getting hotter from here.